Welcome to Music with Purpose. I'm Lisa Catherine. With me is Sita's Light. Enjoy. Welcome. Thank you so much for being
Thank you.
here.
Thanks for having us.
Sita's Light founder Miriam Zernis has been joyfully guiding all who are drawn to Kirtan into a deep, heart-opening experience in New York, Connecticut, Canada, and Europe for over a decade. Her mission is to effortlessly transport a group into a place of inner peace and tranquility through chanting and sacred music while making the experience accessible to all.
I like to start with something instrumental to set the tone. Most of the time it's completely spontaneous. I play with such amazing musicians. Something happens when you're playing spiritual music. It becomes really clear that we all tune each other in. The piece that you just heard is just an evolution of what's happened when we just sit down and start. Byron on the didgeridoo, and Andrew comes in, and Fumio comes in, and then I come in, and sometimes it's just humming or sound, just toning. It is my hope that through that way, the people that are new to the experience will take a breath and relax and get ready for what's next. Kirtan is really an old ancient practice from India where you're singing devotional songs or chanting mantras. Here in the West, it's become pretty popular because of the yoga movement, because it is so relaxing, so much peace comes to people who chant. You don't have any expectations, and you don't have to have a great voice. You can just sing from your heart and be relaxed, and usually you're with a group of people who feel the same way. which makes it so powerful. The words we're singing are in Sanskrit usually, but sometimes we do something in English, and that you can do other languages. Sanskrit in particular has such a high vibration. It's similar to Hebrew when a cantor is in a synagogue, or Gregorian chant, or Latin. It has this very unique quality that brings us to a place of calm because of the vibration. So all of the vibrations that we chant are in our bodies, really. They're already somewhere inside of us. And I think kirtan feels so good because it's a group experience. Everyone is working on raising the vibration together. And there's no judgment, and there's such peace and love usually, and there's just this great building of positive. So you can definitely feel it at the end when you walk out, walk away. You know somehow that something shifted for you. And for some people, it's kind of addictive. You know, it's kind of what happened to me, I think. You want to keep doing it. You want to keep practicing it. I love to keep playing, but I also like to attend and have the experience shared with me from another chanter or kirtan artist.
It seems addicting.
Mantra is really a seed sound, they call it in Sanskrit, that actually has the power to slow down your mind, calm your mind down while you're achieving a higher vibration. It's not easy to explain. The repetition of the songs that we sing, whether they're spiritual songs or we do the mantras, that repetition slows our mind down. So it's a form of meditation. Our minds all want to experience new thoughts constantly. That's our mind. It's normal. It's a human mind. When you do repetition of a mantra or a spiritual song, as we do in kirtan, the mind suddenly becomes aware that there's nothing else to think about because you're on a loop. So it's kind of like being trained to just stay in one place, and that's very calming for the mind. When it knows that it doesn't have to think about anything else, it slows down and stops, not unlike what happens on a yoga mat when you're doing classical yoga especially, and the teacher is giving you a routine that's very much the same each time. You're looking for the deepening of your asanas or poses on a mat. So this chanting has a similar appeal. Eventually, you become so connected to your breath, and you no longer feel like you have to think about anything but just being in the present moment and being where you are. And of course, it's really special to hear others around you singing, and it's joyful.
It's considered a universal language.
Yep.
And a song of the soul, and it's
Yeah.
non-denominational, so it's really
Yeah,
something everybody...
Everyone can do it. When I first started, people were a little bit concerned that, you know, it was religious, some form of religious change for me. And not at all. Of course, in India, the sounds, the mantras, the songs are connected to deities, and, you know, that's a practice that's absolutely there. In the West, we've also taken some of that, but we've also added that universal language of energy to it. And each one of the deities that are involved with the sounds actually have qualities that we all want. Whether it's strength or peace or joy or any of the qualities that we all look for in an uplifted life are sort of contained in those sounds. And it sounds complex. When we're singing, it's very simple, but so much is going on. In our bodies, in our minds, so much is going on. And that's the part that's kind of hard to explain, because it is somewhat mystical. And some people have said that. It's sort of mysterious why you feel the way you do at the end. But if you do the scientific breakdown, it's all there. It's the sound, the healing of the sound, the vibration. When I first started doing yoga, I was really, really drawn to the chanting almost immediately. And I was staying in an ashram for visits. And every morning and every evening, they would chant, besides meditation, and then give a little talk, a little Dharma talk. And I remember the first time I heard the harmonium, I thought, my goodness, that's such an incredible sound. I always felt it like kind of went into my body somehow, and that vibration really spoke to me. I was an editor and a news writer at ABC News at the time, and I didn't have a lot of time to pay too much attention to all of it. But I did know that I loved the harmonium so much that I wanted to get one. So I went off and bought a harmonium, and it sat in my closet, unplayed for quite a while. Then I was invited to lead some chanting, and I guess the people who invited me, they were a group of yoga teachers, and I think they thought that I played the harmonium. And I showed up with a tambourine instead because I didn't really know how to play the harmonium just yet. Anyway, long story short, one of the wonderful teachers that was there called me up the next day and said, "You better get that harmonium out of the closet and start playing it." I took her cue and said, well, maybe it's time. And I was still working, but I thought, you know what, maybe this is what I need to do. And incredibly inspiring instrument. It kind of started to teach me how to play it. So I never really had any formal lessons, but it's from my heart that I can figure out somehow what the notes are and play. After a while, the whole thing just took me over, and I eventually left ABC and came out into the world to teach yoga and do chanting, and here I am. There is audience participation. Call and response is what it's called. I'll sing a line, and the audience will sing back. Without it, it can be kind of dull, because we're building energy. So the beauty of this practice is we start slow, I'll sing a little, it's sung back, and then it starts to move. And you can pretty much feel the energy in most of these experiences is slowly just rising up. And occasionally it gets so fun and so ecstatic that people might dance or clap.
Now we invite the studio audience to join us, as this is a practice of audience participation.
Shiva, 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 Shambho. 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 Mahadeva 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva Shiva Shambho.
Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho.
Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho.
Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva 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 Shambho.
Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva 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 Shambho.
Shiva 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho.
Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita peace mantra. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. 3 times. Om Shanti out. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti,
Thank you, Sita, and your Sita's Light Ensemble, Fumio, Andrew, and Byron. What a pleasure. Thank you so much, and thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy. Until next time, we wish you a life filled with music, love, and peace. Bye-bye.
I've been playing with Fumio and Andrew and Byron for a little while now. Byron on the didgeridoo, and often play with a flute player, a violinist. It depends on the musicians and where we're going and who's around.
Samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino